What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. I am Rahgel, the proclaimed OG of the podcast, the innocent one, the one that does nothing wrong. I'm here with Thunder from Down Under, our
back
fat bottom
the
girl.
fuck up. Back the fuck up. I'm sorry. You don't do anything wrong. You could
Can I
just
get
stop
to the
with,
intro
I don't
first
do
before you cut me
anything.
off? Before you cut me off, I couldn't get to the damn intro. You're already cutting me off.
You motherfucker.
I don't do shit wrong.
You don't do shit.
I do shit wrong.
Period.
Wrong. I don't do anything wrong. I do nothing
You
wrong.
can't do anything wrong when you don't do shit, period.
I can't do anything wrong. Anyways, our own fat bottom girl, the self-proclaimed Sigalicious.
It's not self-proclaimed. I have an
Yes.
episode to prove. You literally said, and here's Sigalicious with his thunderous thighs.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Episode 7.
Living old shit. That long ago?
It was 2 episodes ago.
Are you talking about season 2? Are you talking about season 1?
Yeah. Talk about the season of which we're in.
Nah, lies. I don't believe any of it.
Your whole life is a lie.
It's a lie. I mean, I understand that. That's yeah. I feel like I live in the Matrix with you sometimes. I never know what to believe.
That's fair.
Yes.
I hear that from my wife too, so that's fair.
I mean, it sounds like trust issues, but whatever.
It's a simulation theory, you know.
It's
It's fine.
It's a whole simulated world.
It really is. It's just one Sims character gameplay over and over. It's fine. Horrible stats whoever created me. It's fine.
That's why you don't see the diamonds above our heads, because the camera angles
Well,
doesn't work.
you can't look up and see them.
Exactly.
But we will get into wonky ass fucking conspiracy theories another time because I got plenty of them. Mostly because I have brother-in-laws who believe in all of them. From flat Earth to fluoride in the water to the birds are FBI.
Oh my gosh.
You name it. I have an in-law who believes it. So I got stories for days. Weeks, actually. But that's not what today's episode's about. What's today's episode about?
Until then.
Till next time. Toodaloo, motherfuckers.
This one, since it is Wrestling Week, we got Rumble coming up.
Yep.
Other episode, talk about our Rumble picks. Check it out. Let us know what you think. Be prepared for it. It's going to be a good one. We're excited for Rumble coming up.
I prepared for it.
Definitely our bingo cards, which I think, are we going to post those?
Yeah, they were up on social media.
Okay.
By the time this airs, they will have been up on social media. And,
Okay.
We'll have the episode after this one. We'll talk about the fallout of Royal Rumble and Monday Night Raw. So yeah,
Perfect. So I think with that,
nights.
I think one of our things we have not done yet in the few episodes that we've done, we've never talked about our favorite wrestlers.
Almost, but yeah,
I know. Never talked about our favorite wrestlers. Now we can get into matches too, but I feel like you said, that may take a little while.
So I think we've talked. We've never ranked. We have definitely talked about this is my favorite or this is one of my favorites, but I think we flat out have ever said this is like my top 5 or my top 10 or my numero uno. So, but yeah, we can definitely do that. We'll do that tonight. Even though I think mine's already been said probably a dozen times over.
Yeah, I mean, Dominic is one you follow a lot since he's been a kid. His bleach blonde hair and is in the stands when Mysterio was fighting Eddie.
Look,
I do remember.
Don't project yourself onto me, okay? Don't project your hidden feelings and your hidden issues onto me. That doesn't work.
Hey,
Just
you
because
said
you're
yourself,
Army, you have all these issues built up, internalized, does not mean you need to spread them to myself.
You said it just like he did. Prison changes a man. So I mean, it's okay.
I've never been to prison.
Neither is he, but apparently it works. So
the closest I get to prison is being a stay-at-home dad. I get shanked by something. So I'm always getting hit. I'm getting verbalized. I'm getting abused. I mean, really, tell me the difference. Other than I'm being, Another guy's not taking his weight with me. That's really
Oh,
the only
well.
difference.
You left that one. That was the military. They had their way with you and spit you out. So we got away from that one.
I was all dry too. That was so rough. It was so mean.
Yeah, no spit, nothing, just straight to it. Just get ready for it. Here it comes.
Anyway, do you want? Let's do both men's and women's.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Well, because like if we do my top 5 wrestlers, I'm going to have like probably 2 or 3 women's in there.
Okay, we can do men and women's.
That gives me a better chance to justify my.
Think about women's now.
Oh, yeah, because if you watch the last episode or you listen to the last episode, you will know he doesn't know the women's
I don't
division.
know the women's division that well. I mean, I know enough to maybe not. I don't know. I know of 2 for sure. But like, I don't know.
The Bella Twins do not count as 2.
I do not like the Bella Twins. No. So let's start with the men because that's gonna take me a little bit to think about the women's.
All right, but let's lay the groundwork. Is this just WWE? Since this is
this is your all-time, whoever you want, how you want to do it, whatever. Mine will probably be a lot of WWE, to be honest, just 5.
Mine will flip because they're technically in both brands or both companies.
I mean, they're all in one company now. Of the big 3.
What?
WCW, ECW, WWE.
I was talking more WWE and AEW, but okay.
Oh, yeah. I guess.
Oh, what the fuck ever. I will let you start with the men's. Who's your... Okay, is one our favorite? Top 1 is our favorite.
So yeah, number 1 will be our favorite. All time, my favorite all time, number 5 is I'll probably go the Hulk Hogan. Number 5. I mean,
really, I can't even get into why you can't go with Hulk Hogan on this podcast because we said no politics or religion, and he is chock full of that shit.
Yeah, but the guy paved the way for fucking everything.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's like saying Ric Flair paved the way for everything. He didn't.
Well, I mean, okay, so I mean, if you want me to take it out, I mean, my other one's not going to be any better.
No. You chose Hulk. I'm going to ridicule your choices if they suck. So I can easily replace him. No, you've already said number 5 is Hulk Hogan, so I will let you have your piece of shit moment.
Yeah, I will go with it. Oh, whatever.
For my number 5,
Dominic. Okay, my number 4.
He's my number 1. Come on. No. Like, I get where you're coming from with like Hulk Hogan, and honestly, if it wasn't for all the shit that came out and him just being like, okay, like him not giving a shit about it, kind of rubs me wrong. But
I look past all that shit. I just look at the in-ring, the persona of what he is, and I get your shit spot.
Even then, I didn't think he was a great wrestler. I hated his finisher.
I think he did too.
Hated it. And like, I don't know. It was just, I get it. I get what was going on. They made WWF at the time very popular, very famous, very quick because of Hulk Hogan. I get it. He paid his dues. He laid a lot of groundwork. He still sucks. But
one of the biggest heel turns with, I mean, look with the NWO and everything.
Okay.
One of the biggest.
I think Rollins turning on the Shield is the biggest, but
no.
Okay.
I didn't start a whole fucking movement at that point. I mean, look at what he did with
NWO. Easy there. I know movement.
It was. It had to be. I mean, if you look at it, it wasn't for that, WCW would have died a long time before what they did. It helped save a lot of what they had.
It helped keep them afloat.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm saying. If it wasn't for that, they'd have been dead.
They wasted all their money on top tier guys like Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Hulk Hogan, and then everyone else went to the wayside and got mistreated and just like, I get it. But fuck WCW. That's not even me as like a WWE purist, whatever. That's just looking at all the statistics. WCW was never set up to win or last. They were set up to be bought out eventually. They sucked. But regardless, your number 5 is Hulk Hogan. My number 5, I am going to go with Sting. WCW. I know I just shit out WCW, but
Okay, yeah, okay. So yeah,
but it's more like
WCW. I love Sting.
He's only on my top 5, easy there, but fuck WCW.
Oh, okay.
But he's like, he got fucking abused in WWE. There's no easy way for that. His whole run in WWE was
maybe a year.
Not even before he got injured, and he was just fucking mistreated like shit, and he got destroyed by Seth Rollins like he got injured. But what he's done in even WCW, his gimmick, all that, his TNA, his Impact, it's all like the continuity of his gimmick has lasted the span of 3 decades plus, and he's actually good in the ring. He has a good gimmick. He's good on the mic. He has a good appearance. He's a good wrestler. Hell of a lot better wrestler than Hulk Hogan. And then look at what he's doing with AEW right now. Even like he's good. He's a good wrestler, and him and what he's doing to help the younger guys, especially over in AEW, is just amazing. With like all the work he's been doing with Darby Allin, just fucking awesome. WCW plays like 5% into my overall rating. The rest is mostly.
That was his whole career in WCW.
Impact. He had more of an that's redundant to say, but he did better in Impact than he did with WCW / TNA. Because there's Impact and TNA.
He did as much as Hogan did for WCW.
Because he did more for WCW than Hulk Hogan did. And he was underutilized in WCW.
He was underutilized until his Crow persona came out. Before that, he did have his run of the Ultimate Warrior Ric Flair crossbreed.
Yeah,
is what I considered him.
Ric Flair's a fucking joke.
Now, but back in the day, he was. I mean, you look at what he did, how he did it.
No.
Behind the scenes, he ran the show whenever he wanted. So I mean, I will say that. Yeah, there's guys that paved the way. And I will give it to Sting as well. He did help pave the way for a lot of guys, and is still doing that. Hands down, he's still doing it.
Off guys would be the best way to put it. Like the true gimmicky. I'm like when I say that, I mean like Hulk Hogan was a person. He was very much USA, NWO. Yeah. He wasn't gimmicked. He wasn't branded by anything other than his receding hairline and his red bandana and his ripping of the shirt. Sting had the baseball bat, the face paint, the crow. Like, he had a whole spiel that's so related to who he was and who he is. And it was more than just he's a wrestler with, a famous chant. He was this whole big production in of himself. If that makes any sense.
No, but okay.
It makes sense in my head. English sucks.
When I lay in bed at night, I think of Sting and how much I hate WCW. It all made sense.
I haven't done that in a while, but yeah. No, I just think overall, like, between Sting and Hogan, Sting did more for like the one-off guys who are not like he did more for people like Bray Wyatt, Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy, the Dudley Boys, Edge and Christian, Undertaker, like the special gimmicks, whatever, versus the purists or I'm a wrestler with a fancy catchphrase or fancy slogan, whatever. Like, I don't know if that doesn't make much sense, but like, yeah. It makes sense in my head, damn it, so fuck you. Fuck you and the horse you rode up on.
Fuck you and a horse you rode it on. All right. Well, I mean, Still not bad. I do agree with the top 5. He would be top 10. I would agree in mine.
I'm gonna spoiler alert for mine. Ric Flair never makes the list because he is not good. Not in the past, not WWF, not WWE, not WCW, not Impact, not TNA, nothing. He was not a good wrestler. He had 45 moves, and that was it. You take away his figure 4 lock, he had 3 to 4 moves, and that was it.
But he got thrown off the top rope so much better than anybody else has ever done it. He never went off the top rope one time in his entire career. He always got thrown off of it.
He sucked.
I can think of.
He sucked.
Flair
sucked.
Would Flair make my top 10? I don't think Flair would make my top 10.
He wouldn't make my top 20.
He would be my top 25.
No, not even my top 25. I have way too many.
I can't be my top 25.
Well, that's not what we're talking about. What's your number 4?
My number 4 is one that is strictly guy that I have liked. I catch so much shit for it, and I'll guarantee you probably will give me shit for it too. No, he's not top 5. That's not a top 10 guy for me. Top 10 guy is The Miz, but mine is Conan, K-Dog, what do you want to go by? He is just a guy that I have followed since WCW, into Lucha Underground, into wherever the hell he's gone, Impact, I believe. But just him and the way that he wrestled, the way that he would work the mic, his promos were decent, not an outstanding wrestler by any means, not the best promos, one of the best wrestling rappers I've ever heard in my life. No, I'm kidding. But the whole shit that he did in WCW, he was in and out of NWO, he was in and out of Wolfpack. He did, but what he has done for Lucha on the background of everything, and the fact that he helps push so many guys, but he also has had some shitty runs too, as far as shit that he's done behind the scenes. Yeah. But you tell me one guy from back in the day that doesn't have a dark story. I think almost everybody has a fucking dark story, dark horse at some point in there. I guarantee he's got something. But that's one guy that I've always liked, always followed, and I try to listen to guys' podcasts, but it does get difficult because a lot of it's in Spanish, so I don't understand it. But
I'm sorry, aren't you married?
We're focusing on the wrestlers right now, not my, and I can't fucking learn Spanish. On
the next episode, Rahgel learns Rosetta Stone.
Yeah, and I show up with a fucking black eye after she listens to this podcast. I swear to God, I'll learn. I'm sorry.
I'm going to come in on one of these podcasts. I'm going to have a whole fucking spiel memorized in Spanish.
Written on your whiteboard next to your fucking computer.
I'll just have it over here on my monitor next to me and just be reading it. And have your wife listen and be like, what did he say? Do you know what he said? You'd be like, no, I don't know what he said.
Come from the guy that claims to be from Spain.
I have a birth certificate to prove it.
And you speak Spanish?
Not very well anymore, no.
Yeah, anymore. You didn't speak it all right.
I spoke it growing up, actually. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you thought you did. Your parents like, oh, yay, good job. What the fuck did he say?
No, it was a roll your R's. I can't. My tongue doesn't move past my teeth. Roll your R's. So sorry.
No, that's my number 4. That's one of just a guy that I enjoyed watching.
I can get behind Conan. That's. I would put him in top 20.
A mid-card wrestler.
I would put him in top 20. I think he was heavily underutilized and under-respected from certain perspectives, but he's a good wrestler. He's a hell of a lot better than fucking Flair. But and Bret. I'm gonna get started on Bret Hart. He's a whiny ass little bitch. He doesn't even make my top 20 anymore after the shit he's been saying these last 5 to 10 years.
See, I don't let the stuff that they say. I get jade too much of how I felt about them as a wrestler as a whole. I do know
I can't, especially when he became I get Montreal Screwjob. I get it, but he became such a baby back bitch.
I agree.
that. And I get it. I get it. He was screwed. He took it very serious. He's a purist. I understand. But fucking come on. It's been 20 plus years. Grow up.
When you look at the worker, I mean, the guy was fucking there, spot on when he needed to be.
Pre Montreal Screwjob, yes, he would have easily made my top 5. But post Montreal Screwjob, I have lost so much respect for him, so much of the work he's done for himself and for the company. Like, it's just so hard to.
If you're fucked over like that too, I think I'd have a hard time. I'm guaranteed it fucked his career, big time. But
it destroyed his career.
Can you say he did it to himself though? In the matter he was going to WCW for more money when he knows he was not going to get the money he was obviously. He was deserved to be paid what he was getting or more. So I mean, I get the business aspect of it. I'm not faulting for that. And the whole thing of like he was gonna take the belt, the rumors of stuff like that, and to do the screw job in that. Fuck. I mean, who knows where it goes, how it handles it from that point of like, okay, does he take it? Does he not? Do we roll the dice?
But even from like a non-business perspective, this has been his anchor in life for years. He bashes everything he says, everything he does since that point in time. He is such a piss poor excuse of a shell of a man of who he was, all because of the screw job. And I get it. But dude, it's been 20, 25, 30 years. Like, it's time to move on. Let it go. We understand you got fucked. But to be fair, it also sounded like you were going to fuck WWF back in the day, too, by going to WCW with the title. Like, you get what you deserve. You reap what you sow. But other people have been screwed over royally just as much, and you don't see them coming out and be like, oh, fuck WWF, fuck WWE. Their scripts are bad. They're faking it. It's not real. There's no one as good as me. I'm the best. Like, fuck off, Brett. Fuck off. You can't even make the top 50 for me because, like, you became such a sour puss in the later years of your life. Well, not even later years of your life. Post Screwjob. And he could have had such an excellent run had he just said, done. It happened. I'm going to WCW, doing the run over there. I lost, whatever. And then when WWE wants him back, be like, all right, I want a match against Shawn again to repair the damage to my reputation. I want the title. I want X amount of money. He could have basically extorted them because he had the reputation and the backing to prove it. But instead, he became a bitch about it and destroyed any reputation he would have actually had. All because he had to act like a fucking child about it. My toy got taken away from me. This toy sucks. Your toy sucks. I want my toy. Like, he's just... I could do a whole fucking episode by myself about why I hate fucking Brett and Rick. But anyways, your number 4 was Conan.
Mm-hmm.
My number 4... Can I use Stables?
That's another episode.
Damn it. Fuck.
That's the whole other, because that one will get, that could probably be a very long episode as well, along with favorite matches, because stables there's so many. And there's so many good ones. Past wise, I mean, you can look very few now. But like, past wise, yeah, there's so many.
Fuck. So I was going to go with DX just to lump them all and be done with it. Fuck. I would have to go. All mine are going to be really old school guys for the most part. At number 4, we're going to go with Randy Orton. He's been around.
He's still wrestling too, so.
Yeah, he is, but we're saying top 5 wrestlers, unless we're now switching this to non-active wrestlers, and I can change my list all the time. But no, Randy Orton, amazing runs, amazing character, amazing gimmick, amazing persona. Like, I don't have anything to fault him on other than literally drugs getting in his way so much that he let it ruin his career early on, but he has turned it around. But even then, his in-ring work is phenomenal. He's more about everybody than just himself now. Like, he is so well versed on mic. He's so well versed of a wrestler. Even the small little things that people are trying to, I guess, tear him down for, when he does his slam and he does a little clap before he slams them. Everybody's like, "Oh, if he claps, you're gonna take the bump. If he doesn't clap, he's gonna miss it when they come out the rope." And they're trying to like say that's bad. That shouldn't be noticeable. Like, small things like that. It's just to the point where like he's truly looking out for his opponents. Yeah. He's looking after them by just small little signals, and it doesn't detract from that move. It almost adds to it when like because it's always in like the heat of the moment where he'll clap and he'll slam him down, and it adds to it where if it doesn't clap, you don't even notice it because he kind of like gets to it and you don't hear it. So I would have to go Randy Orton for my number 4, even though I feel like I could have placed him at 1, but he's not my number 1.
Okay. So, I mean, the hell was a solid pick, hands down. I mean,
fuck yeah, it is.
Second generation wrestler. His dad is still actively wrestling. He's coming to Iowa in a couple months, I think, as well.
Bob needs to stop.
He's still doing his thing.
Rumor is that he's gonna make an appearance and work with Randy one last time.
That, I mean, if he does it, cool. If not, that's fine too. Yep. But I don't know, yeah, solid wrestler. Solid. I mean, his whole fucking career, going through everything and the whole changing of a character and watching him develop growing up to now. I mean, it's crazy. Legend killer, everything. He had a crazy fucking run, and one of the best finishers, I think, as well. As I love the RKO. You know, I love the diamond cutter, shit like that. But to go off of that, my number 3 is Stone Cold. Going from RKO to the stunner. Stone Cold also has probably one of my favorite moments that I've ever seen in wrestling. It's not even in ring. It's when he hit McMahon with the fucking bedpan in the hospital. That whole stunt, skit, run, promo, everything of him and Vince was probably the best shit I ever watched. And so still the sound of him taking that bedpan and clink across his forehead. Oh my gosh. I saw it on Monday night in the beginning and I cracked up. I'm like, that's my favorite part. Hands
the moment
down.
That vignette come across and he just goes pink. I was busting up laughing. I was like, oh, I'm so happy this came back. I love that. That was like
he had great promos, obviously. His outside of the ring stuff was even better when him and Brian Pillman well had their shit, you know, because him and Brian Pillman will go way back. They were tag team partners and everything else. And the fact that they was the whole gun incident and everything, he was supposed to shoot him and shit like that. And him and Booker T going through the supermarket.
The grocery store.
It was so hilarious. I mean, the beer truck, he came in and doused the entire front row of the arena as well, including the ring, when he sprayed everybody with it. Everything that he did with monster trucks to whatever outside of the ring made it almost even better when he come into the ring. His in the ring matches were great. When he passed out because he couldn't do shit anymore against Bret Hart and was bleeding. Another iconic shot of that, of him and the sharpshooter bleeding and screaming and then passing out.
Yep.
I mean, he's got so many good matches, and the whole
Tyson and the McMahons, and Triple H and Rock.
His King of the Ring run when he cut his promo to introduce the whole Stone Cold persona. Yeah, and that's iconic at that too. I mean, he could be number 1, but I have a couple that are a little bit more just of that I enjoy watching a little bit more. But man, it's just tough. It's tough to beat anything that he's done in ring, out of ring, and even the shit that he still does with this podcast. And just listen to it because it's him. It's not a
It's not a gimmick.
It's not a gimmick in any way. I mean, it's him. He's the blue collar, beer drinking and everything like that. That's what he is. That's what he does. And that's one that I loved it. Yeah.
I mean that's I can't fault you. Like, there's nothing negative to say about Stone Cold, because even with his comeback match against KO, like, he wasn't amazing in last year's WrestleMania, but the dude still has it and could still do another run. Like, he's still good. It was a good match, but definitely, like, he's still solid. I will give you that. So I won't put Stone Cold in mine since you have Stone Cold in yours. That's fair. I'm not gonna put Hulk in mine because fuck Hulk.
Hater. Hater.
Hater's gonna hate. It was my Ticketmaster. No, I will say for mine are all gonna almost be like, this is so hard too, because like
CW.
No. Because here's the problem. Like, I have my top 3. But the problem is, the more and more I think about this, the more I look into it, the more I'm like, well, is this person better than that person? Type thing. And that's why I was like asked about stables. So I will leave stables alone. I won't touch anybody from the stable division. Randy Orton's on my list, and he's part of a few stables. I'm not gonna touch any stables. And I'm gonna have to go with my number 3. I want to make sure I'm getting this right in my head, because I have like 20 names going through my head right now.
These are all on the spot. Everybody listen. These are on the spot.
Yeah, we didn't have time for this.
We didn't have time to do all this. It's kind of just on the spot.
So yes, 3 minutes ago, we decided we were going to do this.
Yeah. If we had time, we may have a little more.
We'll do a whole actual tournament. We'll do a whole tournament.
We may have a better list. You never know, but yeah. But it's just kind of on the spot.
Yeah, I'm torn because I want to put Michaels, but I also want to put Edge. But I also want to put like so many other people. So for controversy's sakes, now he was not a good wrestler. We're gonna just stick with Michaels. That was my initial gut reaction with Shawn Michaels. I'm just stick with him. He was very, very much. I mean, again, not much you could say negative about him other than, again, drugs and alcohol. Was he your number 2? You can't have him now. He's my number 3.
He's my fucking number 1. Hands down, that's my number 1, you motherfucker. That's okay. I can go I have another number 1 I can do, but if we'll do it this way.
You better not get to my number 1.
I probably fucking won't. I guarantee you. I don't. You bastard.
No, okay, so you can relate to this, but Shawn Michaels, like, the overall, I have a hard time putting him not at number 1.
He's a fucking icon. I mean,
but my number 1 is so fucking synonymous. So, but Shawn Michaels is just pure iconic. He is Mr. WrestleMania. He is everything, anything. Even like, again, I look at like the overall perspective rather than just his in-ring work, like what he does outside of the world of wrestling. And during his dark periods, like when DX first came together, and then when Triple H took over and came back, Shawn Michaels went through that very dark phase of, he was drug addicted or alcohol addicted. Like, he was very dark, and he disappeared. And he literally came back and he rebranded himself, redesigned himself, and said, look, I'm back. I'm better than ever. And he, other than the fucking crazy eyes, he's like amazing. And even his production value of NXT, he's awesome. I have no faults. Taker matches, match against Triple H, Kurt Angle, Ric Flair, you name, like, he's had some of the most iconic fucking matches.
He still holds the best ladder match, in my opinion, with Razor Ramon. Hands down, one of the best matches. So, spoiler alert, that might be my number 1 match. Just saying. I love that match.
That my number 5.
One of my, you bastard. So, one of my favorite matches right there. I mean, he had the retirement.
Write that down really quick.
Fuck you. I mean, his whole grudge last match with Taker. When all that happened. Awesome. I mean, when he went dark and white, he came out and the whole fucking white gimmick and everything else. I was like, oh fuck. It all ended there. Like his match against, I know he hated with Flair too, but
You knew he was. It was a fucking WrestleMania match. He was not going to win against Taker. Come on.
Yeah, but I mean, Lesnar does though. That makes sense. Um,
That's a whole
but I mean,
different
like,
podcast.
oh god, we can talk about the worst matches or worst gimmicks or worst bullshit too. But yeah, that the whole fucking match he had there, the light and the dark. Yeah, I mean, the Ric Flair match. You don't like him, but it was a good match, and it could have been maybe Michaels
No,
made it,
no,
maybe Ric Flair made it, but that was a
no.
great
Michaels
match.
made it. Michaels made it.
You won't give Flair
And
credit.
I won't. Michaels made it because it was a very, very much raw matchup. Michaels knew Flair outside of the ring. Michael didn't want this to happen, but he was also very honored that he got to retire Rick. Like there was so much to it, and the fact that he like it wasn't fake emotions of him going, "I'm sorry." Like that was legit him just going, "I can't believe this shit's really happening." Just like when Taker retired him, and he's like, "Come on, do it, do it." Like he got emotion, and that's one of the best things is yes, it's a gimmick, yes, it's a character, but his real life persona, his real life reality of himself comes through with his character and it works so flawlessly great. And you don't get that very much with any other wrestlers, especially nowadays. You have people who try it like Omega and they come across very self-centered, egotistical, me. It doesn't work. You have Reigns with his tribal chief. It works, kind of, but I don't think Reigns portrays that way in his real life. And if he does, yeah, piece of shit.
But when you have when you have a character, a wrestler who can single-handedly make you hate the entire company for what they are, Stone Cold. I hated Vince McMahon. I hated everything around Vince McMahon at that point. Shawn Michaels came back. Yeah, you hate everything at that point. And Shawn Michaels came back and they did the whole run. And I didn't like it, but I got it. Of he was, having family problems. He was poor and shit like that. And I'm like, I can't fucking stand WWE right now because of how they're doing him.
Yep.
And like you forget the whole storyline, everything else. You're looking at somebody like that you've loved to watch the entertainment that he's put on, everything that he's done, and you're like, you're gonna fucking do him like this again. You buy into the story, and you're like, you can't fucking do him like this.
But that's what made him so great. That was again, like yes, WWE won. I can't get on the bandwagon of it's fake because it's not. It's real bumps, real bruises, real breaks, real damage. But yes, it's very heavily scripted in results, and they're not secretive about that. But
the internet,
yeah, no. But where like Shawn Michael came into play of again, Stone Cold made you hate the corporation, made you hate the business. Shawn Michael allowed for that almost invasion of privacy like thing where you got to see so much of his personal life that you're just like, oh, is this real? Is this not real? Is this kayfabe? Is this like it blurred the line. You didn't know what was real, what was not. And then his feud with Triple H when he came back and kind of I'm better than you, but you brought me up through the ranks type thing. It was flawless and it made you forget that this was all just TV production and this wasn't in fact real. And when the wrestlers can do something like that, I think that's where like the magic comes into play of you legitimately just forgetting everything and putting the facade down. You're like, wow, this is great work. This is amazing. And that's very, very far and few in between nowadays. The closest you get with active wrestlers would probably The Miz, as much as that pains me to say, because I hate the gimmick. But again, love to hate him. He brings so much of his outside life into the ring that his character is very much 100% believable. You believe this is how he could be outside the ring, and this is how he is in the ring. You believe that's just one and the same person. Same with Shawn Michaels, and same with like probably my other two picks. But just it's very much this is the man behind the screen. So I'm sorry you can't have him for number one, but
okay.
And he definitely deserves to be up on number one, but I have two other people I like more than him, so I can't put him at number one.
Oh, good. Dominic's up there somewhere, so okay, we got that going.
So your number one comes up and you're like, fine, you fucking took Sean Dominic.
What the fuck? I was kidding.
What? Where the blue shit did that come from?
No, my number two is one that's never been in WWE, WCW, ECW, or any of the mains. He's been kind of behind the scenes, or not behind the scenes, more the, behind the scenes. Is
But he's not a wrestler,
about,
so he doesn't qualify for this list.
Earl Hebner is no, which was a rep for them, but Pentagon Jr. I talked about him in the last podcast, our Royal Rumble prediction, and our tangents that we did. Pentagon Jr. has had crazy ass runs in Lucha Underground, Impact, AEW, God knows what other fucking promotions he's been in.
Yeah.
But the crazy shit that he does, I enjoy hardcore matches, but watching somebody go even way above what I've seen of Mankind, Terry Funk, Sabu, those guys. I mean, who else? Sandman,
RVD.
New Jack, those guys. I mean, it's just
Tommy
like
Dreamer.
seeing, yeah. I mean, the icons of the craziness of ECW hardcore matches, everything like that, and seeing it. He has gone and looks like his face is almost ripped off from some of the matches he's had. Granted, his mask, but it's still the craziness of all that. The promos that he cuts, they're in Spanish, but getting them translated, roughly translated, and trying to read it doesn't do it justice, but being able to see everything he does with it. And I love the whole thing that he has. He's getting older, but I think he's got, hopefully he has a run coming up in WWE. I'd love to see it. That's the one I can think of that I'd love to see. We did talk about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's my number two. I haven't watched him very long, but he's one that's kind of just stuck in there like, okay, yeah, you fucking have done some amazing shit, and I love it.
So he's kind of, I mean, I agree. Pentagon Jr. is fucking beast. He's amazing. Here's kind of my problem, though, is like, all my characters are going to be within the WWE, WWF, WCW, ECW type thing. And that's purely just, like, that's what I grew up watching. I didn't watch a lot of indie stuff until this last, like, 5 years. And then it's hard to say, oh, let me change my list. So, again, purely based upon gut reaction and who I have in my head right away when I think top five. And I know I'm leaving some people out, like John Cena's not on my list. The Rock is not on my list. While, yes, they are very much iconic and they are trailblazers, I don't find them as entertaining, I guess. Not the right word I'm looking for, I guess. I don't know. I prefer other people. But my number two for me, I'm going to have to go with Triple H. I'm sure that's probably your backup number one, so I'm sorry.
No,
Deal with it.
I'm not a Triple H fan. He would be top 10, and maybe number 10 at that, if not lower. I'm not a big Triple H fan. I think he's a great wrestler. His image, persona, everything he has is great. But I think what he's done is he's tries to put spotlight too much on him. A lot of times when it's like the entrances and stuff like that, he's taking it from other people that deserve the entrances of the big entrance at WrestleMania when he comes out.
I love so much.
But they're so fucking corny at times too. Like
So
he comes
good.
out surrounded by Terminator shit, and like he looks so clunky in that shit. Like did you go to fucking Dollar General and buy a bunch of aluminum shit and put it on?
He probably did.
I mean, it's like I think he stole some of the spotlight from other guys that could have gotten the big entrances, because he's always had a big entrance at WrestleMania no matter what.
Yeah.
Why everybody else is kind of like, oh, you get this type shit.
No, I agree with that, but like perspective of what he's done for the company, not including his behind the scenes, what he's done for the company, what he's done for even younger talent like Batista and Randy Orton, the saving moment for Shawn Michaels, what he's done just in general, even if like you want to bring post-production back into it, what he's done with a lot of the NXT crew, like he's done so much for the wrestling business and for WWE that one is just amazing. And then when we're talking about in ring skill ability, he's had fucking banger matches, especially against like Triple H and Shawn Michaels, Batista, Randy Orton, John Cena. What?
He fought himself.
Did I say Triple H? I said Undertaker.
Yeah, no, you said Triple H.
Well, he probably did. Left hand.
He's so good.
In the bathroom, but like he's also one of those people. He's had some of the most iconic matches, not just at WrestleMania, just like overall, and he's been one of like those key figures that when you look through some of the most designed and built up gimmicks characters, like again Randy Orton, Batista, John Cena, even Edge and CM Punk. Triple H is very much in there with the Undertaker. He's in there. Shawn Michaels, he's in there. In some capacity or another, Triple H has had some type of influence on these careers and the way he portrays them, either by tanking them or saving them or making them look really good. Triple H is one of those, like, he's there. He's done it all. He's been there. He's seen it all. He does so much for everybody. And yes, I think that gives him a little bit of the right to say, WrestleMania, I get the biggest fucking entrance. Cool. You do.
It just always bugged me. It bugged me. I don't know why I just did. It bugged the shit out of me.
Yeah, you know what else bugs the shit out of me? Fucking Ric Flair and Bret Hart being deemed this way, or Hulk Hogan. Fuck them.
Yeah, I mean his in-ring matches were good. He does have some iconic ones too, but it's like I don't.
But he can do the very brutal. He can do all the very brutal, gory stuff, or he can do the gimmicky, hilarious stuff. Which
yes.
DX, if we ever do a stable one, DX will be on mine somewhere, whether top 10, top 5, or whatever. Like they're on there, and maybe we'll have to do a stable one and say, like, by the way, these 3 or 4 stables cannot be mentioned because they're guarantees. May have to make a rule at that point. We don't know. We'll see if we'll do another spotlight run, probably during a week of Elimination Chamber.
Good,
like we're doing with this one. So
I think with that, it'd have to be Triple H is. I mean, he's an icon, hands down. I mean, he's trailblazed so many fucking paths for so many guys, and
you still can't have him.
Stuff. I don't want him. No, I agree with number 2 at that one as well. Still can't believe
he honestly could. He honestly still could have been like. He could have been anywhere on the number 5. I'm just going through the list in my head in no real particular order.
Yeah, no, and I get it.
Except for number 1. Number 1, he's always been there.
So my number 1, and since you took my number 1, I actually had him flip-flopped, but not flip-flopped. It was more of a he's there, but I don't know if I want to put him there. And it was happened last night on Raw as well. Is Undertaker?
You bitch! Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you in the cornholio! I hope you get gonorrhea, and stub your toe, and get AIDS in the butthole.
The fact that I knew he was going to be on Raw, I knew he was coming out at some point, and because I watched it today, like Tuesday. Raw was last night. I knew it was coming. I saw the spoilers, everything, and the fact that when his music hit, I still got fucking goosebumps hearing the fucking gong go off, and then knowing it was going to be the American Badass come out. Granted, I wasn't a big fan of that one. I get it. It was cool. But like
it saved his career. It saved his career. He needed that change.
It did. But the fact that I don't know why it is, they had the hardest time getting a bike out there and getting a bike to
because
exit.
they go through the fucking curtain when they should be going through like the offstage ramps, like they do with the actual vehicles. Let the damn thing come off stage, not we're gonna fit through this curtain range right here. No, fuck the 30, 40, 50, 60 feet over there.
But they can never get it started. And they always had the hard time starting them. Hogan could get it started and try to steal fucking Taker's bike. And he's like, fuck this. And walked off. He couldn't fucking do it. But
to be fair, Taker has a history of typically getting his bikes to turn on the first one.
Yes.
So, yeah, last night was one of those, like, I definitely laughed and I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
he didn't
His
get
mom
it.
was like, "Oh, you fucked up." But
Did you see the people behind him going, "No, you should do this"?
oh yeah. He's just like, "Fucking shut up." Yeah, I got this. Trust me. I know my bike. I know
Oh
what
my
to do.
God.
It's just some of the things. I mean, again, one of the greatest Hall of Fame speeches that took for fucking ever. It was like watching an infomercial of he was trying to sell you insurance on anything you can find in the WWE. But going from Mark Calloway, the red trunked, red haired, pale as shit wrestler who got his ass kicked and then made his way in through WCW and then came in through WWE,
I
got the
believe he
chance
also
to
did
be
New
Taker.
Japan, though. By the way,
Did he?
He did. I believe he was overseas too.
He could have. I wouldn't doubt it. Because I know when he had, was it Bruiser Brody was his first match in
I
WCW,
believe so.
who he said just beat the fuck out of him because he was going too hard too fast, and Brody just kind of knocked the shit out of him and told him to slow down. But I don't remember him doing New Japan. Maybe he didn't. He did. But
Yeah, he did.
He did. Okay.
Yeah, he wrestled underneath Mark Calloway.
Okay. But they get in the call from Vince to do the Undertaker gimmick at that time, and then be introduced by one of the guys that I also love, but I didn't know where to put him, and he won't be in my top 5. $1 Million Man is mainly because that guy holds the best belt I think I've ever been fucking created. I love that belt.
Diamonds.
The money belt. I love that belt. That's my favorite fucking belt, hands down.
Hate that belt.
But when he came in with Brother Love and doing all that whole fucking shit, making his way up and then getting Paul Bearer moving that direction, because I mean Paul Bearer, dude, was weird as shit, but was great what he did. And
because that was his real life job. Like,
well, yeah,
it worked.
and yeah, and the iconic matches that he's had, the streak. I mean, granted, it was ended by fucking Lesnar, and without getting into that match too much.
Yeah, but like he's even upset about it. Like, he gets it, and I've seen the interviews with like fans where he's like, "It need to be somebody who it could like benefit." Okay, why Lesnar then? It need to be somebody who's up and coming. Again, why Lesnar? Like, all these excuses he said that it needed to be certain people. It didn't fit Lesnar. It fitted really anybody else. And like, if it was going to be somebody up and coming or somebody new or somebody relevant, it should have been like Reigns, sadly. But even then, no. Taker wanted to be, I believe John Cena's who he wanted to wrestle and have it be his final match. Which would make sense. But we'll get into that whole stupid bullshit thing. But yeah, I'm more pissed that you took fucking Undertaker, because that's literally like, he's been my number one. Been drawing the Taker logo for fucking 20 plus years now. Almost got a tattoo of it.
I mean, he's one of the biggest, if not the biggest.
He is the biggest
when it comes to it. And
his fact gimmick, like, he kept the gimmick alive for 30 plus years and finally broke the silence back in 2020. Like, just amazing. Where you're like, oh my god, all this shit happens. Like, in ring, out ring, in the locker room, he does so much for the company. And if he is not involved in like backstage production, creative control, like, that man needs to be involved.
I don't think he wants it. I think he's set for where he's at. I don't think he wants it. I think he's done with wrestling for the most part.
I don't know shit what he wants. This is about him. This is about us, okay?
I'm curious what and it could have been absolutely nothing, what he said to Bray. I'm just like, if he didn't say, "You fucked this up, I'll come back and kill you," type shit. Like, I'm curious to what he said to him. Like, don't fuck this up. This is your chance.
He's a big supporter of Wyatt.
And he should be. I mean, that is the only one that I can see trying to carry on, not the legacy, but of something of the dark persona, supernatural. Yeah. Something of that. Like, there's no fucking way there's anybody else other than Bray Wyatt right now, because the way that he does shit, I mean, he's smart. Bray is smart in what he does.
He's meticulous.
Yes. I mean, I think that he's more anal about his storylines and how everything goes to where it should work, but as long as it's continues to work, but who knows? It's gonna depend on the powers to be if it continues.
All right. Well, speaking of powers to be, my number one is Vince McMahon.
All right, thanks for tuning in to the podcast. We're ending on some bullshit there.
What a great segue. No, this annoyed me because now that you fucking took Taker, it technically throws my whole thing out of whack. So I'm just gonna go with somebody who I wanted on the list a little bit later or earlier on, but couldn't do fucking factions. I'm gonna put Edge at my number one. Again, between his stable with Christian, the Brood, his banger matches with the Hardys and Dudley Boys, being trendsetters, trailblazers with the TLCs, the ladders, the table matches, and just the fact that he's done so much for the company. He's had so many different personas. That's always worked for him. The rated R has always been his true gimmick and calling. Like, just fucking awesome guy. And the fact that he can come back 9 years later and somehow look better than he did when he was active. Like, I'm sorry, who the fuck said you could do that shit?
Yeah.
But again,
I mean,
if you look at my list, mine are all technically Attitude Era. Minus Sting. All Attitude Era guys. These relate, like, I love this era, and they're all heels too.
are they?
Randy Orton's a heel, Shawn Michaels, Peter
Mikers?
Todd between
Oh, Shawn Michaels.
Michaels. Triple H is a heel, definitely. Edge is a heel. Randy Orton's a heel. Sting
I
is
mean,
one
Triple
of
H.
he's back and forth.
Triple H definitely didn't start off as a heel by any means. I hated
blue
that
blood.
I hated that shit. I couldn't stand. That's how I heel. That's how I feel about the same shit with Gunther right now. Like, I can't stand that style of wrestler. It drives me nuts. I can't stand
like
it.
the purists.
No,
like
I don't. I don't like it. I can't get. I have a hard time. Like, I remember seeing Triple H for the first time in a house show, and he's doing his fucking bow and all. I'm like, dude, go away.
Blue Blood Helmsley or whatever.
Go
Yep.
fucking do steroids and come back with a sledgehammer, and I'll be happy. Okay, and he did. I'm glad he listened to me when I told him.
Hey,
Besides,
this was 8.
yeah. But yeah, it's. I mean, solid list.
No, I mean, again, mine are all
On the
pure.
fly.
Yeah, mine are all pure WWE and Attitude Era guys. Man, Sting, if you wouldn't have taken Taker and I could have remembered Edge earlier on, I would have had Edge and Taker on there, but no, you didn't take Taker. I don't give a shit if I took Shawn. Fuck your shit. Alright. That's the top 5 guys. Who do you have for your top 5 women? Again, mine are probably going to be mostly Attitude Era. I'm sorry, but that's what holds true to me for the most part.
I mean, okay, so it's gonna probably take me a lot longer to come up with 5 here, but my number 5, 12 right now. Holy shit! All right, so I'll go number 5 right now for me, and it's gonna be probably Liv Morgan. I don't know why. I just enjoy watching her wrestle. Everything about it, and again, she's hot. I mean, but if I'm going off strictly that, I mean, I can throw Alexa Bliss in there. I can throw.
Don't be going through Google and trying to figure out divas.
I haven't looked it up. I haven't looked it up yet. I'm thinking about it.
Gut reaction.
Yeah, because until you start taking the ones that I have, I'm
gonna take all the ones.
It's gonna fucking happen. But no, my number 5 would be Liv right now. That's what I enjoy watching, hands down, right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
I agree with you. I like Liv, but she's not on my 5. We're just gonna kind of keep this PG, and I'm just gonna go and just say that Stacy Keibler, my number 5. All right, who's your number 4?
I mean, hey, where do you go from there? So I mean, if you go from Keebler, number 5, I mean, there's not a whole lot to.
You're gonna notice a
argue
whole
there.
trend. You're gonna see a whole trend in my list for again.
So
This is most of like what I grew up with and what I remember and what.
And I think a lot of ours are probably gonna be a lot of Attitude Era. A lot of them. So number 4 is gonna be Sable. The fact that when she came in, did her shit, fucked up Mark Merrow, and then I mean, I enjoyed her, and you know everything else along the lines of what she did. I mean, sorry, I'm not going to apologize for being a guy. I mean, we're going through. I don't know a whole lot of either, but I'm not going to apologize for it.
Okay.
She was, yes, that's
She's
Sable.
attractive. She's very attractive.
Very, very.
For you. My number 4. Speaking of attractive, my number 4 was or is Tori Wilson. Like, these are a lot. These are a lot of like divas. Like
they're the divas.
They could kind of sort of wrestle. We'll never truly know if they could wrestle. I mean, a couple of these, you know, they could wrestle, but
yeah,
it's just a different era. But again, I was also a child and a teenager, so all 5 of these women hold special places in my wrestling heart. Get off of Google.
I'm not Googling anything yet.
I can see you typing on the keyboard.
Oh, not yet.
Who's your number 3?
My number 3 is Lita. Hands down, one of the ones that is going to be a icon when it comes to. Well, she's my number 3 right now because she is iconic in everything she did, everything that she had ever done. And I mean, from coming up with the Hardys and Morrison and fucking everybody else. That's like she had her stables, she had her singles matches, tag matches. She can barely walk now, but yeah, I mean, she fucking put her body on the line, hands down, in what she did.
Yeah. This is true. Now, see, you put me in a weird predicament of do I want to just call out my number 1 to save her, or do I want to risk it and you either take her as number 2 or 1? And it's kind of where I'm at. So I may restructure this whole list post-production, and instead of saying 5 being the worst, 1 the best, just like,
oh yeah,
who's our top 5, in no particular order, just to save face. She deserves so much higher position, but I'm gonna go with Trish Stratus.
I mean,
she was my number 1. She was my number 1.
She's your number 1, really.
I don't believe that you won't take her. How do you spell Stratus? There you
go. How do you spell it?
I'm spelling Stratus. Stratus. Okay. I'm sounding it out. My English teacher taught me.
Stratus.
But no, but she's also one of those, like, she could wrestle, but she was also diva. Yes. So she was just, yeah. I like her.
Yes.
You took Lita. I didn't think you would think of Lita. I was kind of banking on the fact you didn't know any divas going into this, that I could save all my Attitude Era girls and just be fine.
No, okay. So we're at number 2?
Yep, number 2.
This is going quick.
Well, because ours are all pretty much
a lot of them.
We were teenage boys, or we were like, they could wrestle, but let's just preface this, or I guess kind of mid-face this, whatever you want to call it. WWE does a terrible job at the women's division.
Yes.
We are not to blame for our choices. Kind of, sort of. We are, but we're not.
My number 2 is Alundra Blaze, Medusa, what do you want to go by? The shit that she did within the women's division was great. And also her fuck you to WWE when she went on WCW and dropped the fucking belt in the trash can was another big one. She did her thing, and she's still happy about it. She talks about how fucking happy she was doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And how much it shocked Eric Bischoff that she actually did it. Because she said she was going to do it, and he didn't think she was going to do it. So it's just fucking, it was great in what she did. And I think it definitely blurred the lines a little bit on who's going to go where when it became the company between WCW and WWF.
That I want to say that was a game changer, but that definitely like rocked the boat and pissed off a lot of people and changed it. But it wasn't a huge dynamic change. It was just one of those of, oh shit, this can actually happen now. So that's fair. That's fair. My number 2, she's a little bit newer, but not like new or just post Attitude Era. Ashley. She was kind of the biker chick, black hair, blonde, stripe. Biker's the wrong word, but she's a little bit of a thicker gal.
And I'm going to Google this now because I have no idea who she is. Ashley? I don't know who that is.
I don't know if that's her full. Ashley.
I don't know. I know you're talking about. Yes.
Sarah. I know
you're talking about. Yeah, yeah. She's dead.
She was. Yeah, but that's not the point. Okay.
I just first name popped up.
Okay. She was also very attractive back then. So.
Back then, yes. She got rough. I think she had some stuff running with drugs and stuff like that.
Yeah, she had a rough run-in, but
she did. Yeah, I do remember watching her wrestle though.
She was a good wrestler, and she got underutilized, mistreated, but she was good. I liked her. Yes.
Yep. It's a solid one
for all the right reasons and wrong reasons too.
But I mean, I'll just going from that one to mine, who's also no longer around, would be China.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I knew she wasn't going to be anywhere on yours. She is one that
I don't know why. My top 10.
I don't know why.
She's not memorable for WWE.
She was fucking iconic in what she was a big ass woman in what she did, and the fact that she
was the first woman. She was the first woman I ever thought it was like, is that a woman? No.
No, China's my number one. Do you think
that possible?
She had her run with DX, and she was the quiet enforcer, which is odd for the woman to be, but
really,
with the way that Triple H and that's true. But I mean, yes, Rhea is built, but she's not built like China. She's definitely stout, but man, Rhea it was
make my list, but.
And I almost put Rhea on mine. Yeah, she's definitely top 10.
Top 10. No.
Man, she doesn't have iconic matches. She doesn't have anything that really stands out. But
she didn't have very many matches. The most iconic one I can think of for China would be when she went against Jericho for the IC title.
She was in the Rumble a couple times.
Yeah, but
and
not really iconic.
No, but for that time it was, because there was no women in. Yes, for women and men to wrestle at that point. Yep. So I mean, and she came close. No, she didn't. She didn't go close. She did eliminate some guys, but I don't think she ever came down to the finals. But yeah, she was one I enjoyed watching her and everything she did in wrestling.
Yes, in wrestling. Only wrestling.
Moving on.
Nowhere else. Anyways, my last is she's not active. She's still very much alive. And she is my number one not just because, but mostly because she's very nerdy, geeky, and she's very much like
your type.
Yeah, I guess. Even though my wife is not nerdy or geeky, but yeah. But AJ Lee.
Oh yeah.
You want to talk about like true like revolutionary. Changing
the revolutionary.
Yeah.
She did some stuff.
She did a lot of stuff. She was one of those women like she definitely changed the scene. She's had very good gimmicks, even with Dolph Ziggler and CM Punk. Like she was a good wrestler. And she was just great to watch. And she's probably the newest out of the... Well, I think Ashley may have came after her technically, but she was just fun to watch. And again, um, she's also super nerdy, dorky, geeky, and she
is,
didn't
yeah.
like she didn't allow WWE to tame that down or allow her to hide it or force her to hide it. So, I mean, that was just one of those like AJ Lee sticks out to me, and honestly, she was the only one I knew for sure would be my number one. I was like, please let me have my number one, just one of these. You already took fucking Taker, just let me have AJ Lee. But
I liked
yeah.
AJ Lee, but I don't put her up there. I think I would have put Paige above her at that because Paige is fucking crazy.
She's
But
crazy, but
I
here's the
liked
problem. My
her.
stuff goes for in ring and outside the ring, and Paige, Soraya, whatever she's called now, Cerise, whatever. For post WWE, again brings me very much shades of Bret Hart, where I'm just like, okay, chill the fuck out.
Oh yeah,
She didn't bash WWE as heavily, but she was definitely the ones like she's the reason why WWE can't have Twitch pages unless WWE is fully aware of it. It's why wrestlers slash contractors, what they are, can't have certain social medias, can't have designated YouTube. Like it's because of her, and then basically saying, "Well, I'll just quit WWE then. Let me out of my contract. I'd rather have Twitch." Very much a real situation that happened for her. Just like Mandy Rose, I'd rather have my OF than being WWE. Good for her. She makes more money right now. But again, Paige deserves that spot up there, but because of what she's done outside of the ring in the last 5 years, has left such a bad taste in my mouth. I'm like, no, you can be in my top 10. Maybe top 10. Definitely top 15, top 20 for sure, but 10's pushing them.
yeah. I mean, I think of watching the movie that was kind of based around her too made me like her a little bit more.
It was a good movie.
I enjoyed it, and it was her run was good. She was good on the mic. I think she was better than AJ Lee on the mic, but they're definitely hand in hand in what they did.
Mm-hmm. They worked well together.
They did. But man, they were definitely two different styles, but definitely both great in what they did. But I do agree with your AJ Lee at number one for sure.
Trish Stratus was also going to be at number one, but I had to make sure I got her.
Man, that's a tough one to put at one.
Well, just iconic. Just she's been there, done that. She's been back, and she still has it. And she's really rusty, but if she were to get in ring shape and properly train for like 6 months to a year, she could probably have a good solid run. Like another
we can do
2 years.
It's funny because we can do all kinds of shit with the way that we're doing. So top five with managers,
not top five anymore, just
stables.
5. These are our 5.
No, just 5. What we think our top 5 could be if we steal from each other. I mean, managers, stables. Matches, I think would be tough.
Managers would. I don't feel like managers would be hard, but it definitely would be one of those like duplicates are allowed.
Well,
you're
gonna have female and male on top of that too. Okay. So there's plenty.
Well, but if you split it and say, okay, let's do male, let's do female, I don't think it would be hard. I think it'd just be a difference of your top 5 would be a rearrange of my top 5, both men and women. I think we'd have pretty much the same, if not identical.
Yeah, but if you're trying to take some without me stealing yours, then yeah.
Oh, I'm going to start off with like Paul Heyman.
Okay, then my next one is Jimmy Hart. Then okay, so I mean, where do you go? I mean, I think I have who else? I mean, I need
Google.
You get the main ones out of the way, then yeah, it gets fucking tough. So I mean, if we're not going out now, we've done this. We know we're not going for like. I need my number one. I'm gonna wait for my number one. No, I'm trying to steal the best one at the bottom now.
Yeah, pretty much.
So tune into these because these can get very cutthroat. I think now it's going to be okay. I'm going to sneak this one in here. I'm going to tease you with this one and steal this one on the backside. So yeah, we'll see. I think it could get a little.
That wasn't a fair trade. I should let you have Shawn Michaels where I could keep Taker. Wasn't a fair trade.
I think it's what we have to do now. Our cutthroat top 5s or cutthroat 5s, something like that. We can get, that should be fun.
And then there'll be no episode recorded afterwards because we need a week to cool down.
Yeah. You see how we make this happen.
Yeah.
We come up with ideas on the podcast. Yeah.
It's all fucking random. But that's what we're all about too. That's all two guys, one gamepad. But with that said, this is Royal Rumble week. Royal Rumble by the time this airs, it will just have happened, which was January 28th. Royal Rumble happened. On the 26th, we had our podcast predicting. This was our recruiting 5, ranking 5. We don't know what the fuck happened now because it went from top 5 to just I'm taking whoever I want. So and then we have one last WWE/wrestling podcast for this week, which will come out on February 2nd. And it'll be kind of just a recap of what happened from Royal Rumble. So, but I think that's it. I think that's it. We spent a lot of time on the men's. There's part of it that's like, ooh, we went through the women pretty quick. That sounds wrong.
Okay, so we just got canceled. Cool. Thanks, Sid. Good job. We made it this far. Not even a year.
Not even 50 episodes. God damn it.
You got us run through women now. Great.
Don't repeat it.
Oh, sorry. I want to make sure they heard it.
But no, yeah. But again, to justify why is solely because again, the women division in WWE is not great.
But it wasn't just WWE. But that's only the ones I could think of that really had any female wrestlers. Well, yes, there are ones that have them. Predominant. I'm sorry, ones that I know about. To be honest,
because the only other one outside of WWE, because there's a bunch. Again, if we we can't forget. Again, Flair will not make either of my lists. Don't like
you hate male and female Flair.
I hate the family. Yeah.
The family. Holy shit! I hate the family.
I think that's safe to say now. But no, you have amazing people still, like Sasha, who's now in New Japan. You have Becky Lynch, Asuka. You have Dr. Britt Baker, which that's fucking annoying as she is. She's really good on the mic. She's a really good wrestler over at AEW. And you have Tony Storm over there as well. You have Saraya or whatever Paige's new name is. There's still a lot. It's just, unfortunately, the women division doesn't get a lot of time on any company, but WWE kind of takes the cake for that because of what they did in the past.
And that's what I watched. I could maybe name. No, I could, other than Medusa, who left and went to WCW, I couldn't name another WCW beside maybe a Nitro Girl, but that's about it.
Melina. Not only she was WCW, but we forgot about Melina.
Yeah.
And she's your type.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, but
she's probably really mad you don't know Spanish either.
Yeah, well, I can't please everybody. We need to get off we need to get off the female wrestler subject before we do get canceled. Well, if you made it this far in the episode, then we should be good. So yeah.
Yep, and then of course, after Royal Rumble, though, the next pay-per-view is February 18th, Elimination Chamber. So that week, Thursday before, Tuesday after, and Thursday after will again be a wrestling week saga. Mm-hmm. I don't know fucking word I'm looking for.
One of them things.
What we did this week that you don't know about because you haven't heard this yet because we're just not recording a week before.
Yeah, so yeah, yeah. You've caught on by this point. We have no idea what we're doing. We just make it happen. We just get on and do random shit. Oh my god! I hope you fucking stub your toe.
Yeah, I hope you get gonorrhea at the butthole.
Oh, well, that's better than AIDS in my ass like you wanted earlier. Because I fucking took Undertaker. God, I'm so angry.
Had to bring up Taker again.
Yeah. Let's fucking wrap this shit up before we get canceled even sooner.
Fine. Anyways, thank you for tuning in. That's our. I don't know. Let's just. Yeah, thanks for tuning in. I got no words for this episode anymore.
No, I don't think I do either. Until then, maybe. I don't know. Bitch.